Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing. Today we're mixing it up a little bit and reviewing some waders. In particular, I've got with me the Simms G3 guide waders, and we're reviewing this iconic and recently updated wader against the Simms G4 guide wader, which is equally awesome, and we're gonna show you why. So let's get this G3 wader on and show you some of these great features. So the first thing you notice on these G3 guide waders, it's got a really comfortable suspender, probably second only to the G4Z in comfort, but I really don't notice much of a difference. Next is this really cool flip out pocket, and this pocket actually zips off if you'd like to remove it, but it's got some attachment points for some nippers and zingers. It's also a place where you could store some extra tippet or leader material, and even got a nice pocket here where you could fit a small fly box or your wallet, cell phone, etc. Keep in mind that this is not waterproof, and it's even got another pocket on the other side. But a great way to store stuff when you're on the water, particularly if you're going for something more minimalist and you don't want to wear a vest or a pack. You can stuff a lot of stuff into that pocket. As we go down, you'll see yet another large pocket. And this is another non-waterproof pocket that you could probably fit 2 large fly boxes in here. Lots of storage if you need it. One thing I like about the redesign of this G3 guide is they've moved some of the foreset holding and nipper spots to make sure they're more out of the way of your cast. They used to be more centered and always seem to get in the way and hitting your rod. These are much, much better. The other big redesign is in the pockets. And they were designed through lots of input from guides who were getting their oars caught in their waders. So on these, the pockets are reversed to make sure that that doesn't happen. And the pockets lead to a nice fleece-lined hand warmer pocket, which also has a nice drainage hole if you get some water in there. Finally, as we go down, the last piece is going to be the belt. It's a pretty standard belt. It's nice and lightweight, it's functional, and hopefully you're not really going to have to use it because you won't be floating down the river. But if you do fall in, this is going to keep water from filling up your waders. So now that we've talked about the features, let's talk about some of the materials which are a key part of this G3 guide wader. The G3 is made with 2 different types of GORE-TEX fabric. The first is this 3-layer fabric, which covers about 60% of the body. And the bottom part is made out of this 5-layer ultra durable fabric, and that's going to be in the high wear portions of the thigh down to the ankle. Finally, it's important to note that this is a stocking foot wader and it doesn't come with boots. And today I'm testing it out with one of my favorite pairs, which is the Simms G3 guide boot, and also a classic. And if you want to check out those boots, we do have another YouTube video about that as well. But now we're going to go out and test these waders in the river and see how they perform. Now we're going to do the all-important breathability test. Let's go for a run. So the G3 guide held up really well throughout our tests. It's a very comfortable wader and a very breathable wader, even when we went for a run on this hot summer day in Maine. Now we're going to go try on the G4 and see how that holds up to our tests. So we switched, and it's pretty clear that these waders are very, very similar in their construction. 90% of this wader is exactly the same as that G3 guide, but there are a couple of key differences, and I'm going to take you through those right now. First are the suspenders. This features a wider webbed theoretically more comfortable suspension system. Personally, even after wearing it for a little bit, I think that the G3 is actually a little bit more comfortable. But if you were a bigger guy and you had a lot of weight, this does spread it out a little bit. It also adds a little bit of warmth, which is not something we're looking for on a day like today. Next, the mounting points for your forceps are a little bit more durable and a little bit even further out of the way on this G4. That's a great feature. As we go into the pocket, again, functionally very, very similar. You still got the same top pocket, still got these two pockets here for your leaders or your tippet, and this actually comes with a little zinger, but functionally very, very similar. As we move down, we've got two pockets for the pocket warmer. These are what they call weatherproof pockets. It's important to note that weatherproof is not waterproof, so if you submerge beyond these pockets, water will seep in there. Not a good place to store your cell phone. Then we've also got the same large front pocket here. I think the pocket is actually a little bit larger on that G3, but not substantially so. You can probably fit two fly boxes in this one as well. And finally, this does have a fly patch and another zinger here that comes standard with this wader. The fly patch is a neat little accessory, but I find that when I use it, I'm always losing flies, partially because I've got a sling pack and I'm always going back and forth. Just something to keep in mind. And lastly is going to be the wading belt, which is a wider belt. Again, I actually find the more minimal G3 version a little bit more comfortable. But if you're a bigger guy, this is going to provide a little bit of extra support for you, although not as much as a full support belt. Then we come to the key difference between the G4 and the G3, and that is the amount of 5-layer GORE-TEX fabric. In this G4, we've got 5-layer above the knee, and in fact, it goes all the way into the seat area. That means that this is going to be a much more durable wader, and if you're going far away to a destination like Alaska, this is going to hold up better in really, really extreme environments. But let's go do some fishing and see how these hold up to our tests. So wrapping up, we've got two really great pairs of waders. The key difference for me is that the G3 guide wader is a more comfortable wader, it's less expensive, and it's a little bit more breathable. I think for 95% of the population, it's going to be a better wader than this G4. On the other hand, as we talked about earlier, if you're going to an extreme environment where durability is the utmost key factor, someplace where you're not going to be able to get a replacement pair of waders, the G4 is just going to be a better choice. And before we wrap up, I wanted to talk a little bit about sizing. The G3 comes in a lot more sizes, so if you're an odd-shaped guy, you're going to want to go with that G3. It's going to give you a lot more flexibility. We tested the medium short in both sizes, and they fit really true to size. And if you follow the guidelines on the Simms website with the size chart, you're going to be just fine in terms of sizing. The stocking foots are a true 9 to 11 street size, so even if you wear a size 11, you will be able to fit into the 9 to 11 stocking foot. Do remember though, that if you're wearing Simms boots, you're going to want to size up at least one size over your standard street shoe. The G3 guide wader retails for $499.95 and the G4 retails for $699.95. Both of these waders are available with free shipping from tridentflyfishing.com. If you've got questions about these waders, you're not sure about sizing, or you want to find out which application is going to fit best, give us a call at 888-413-5211 or shoot us an email 24/7 at support@tridentflyfishing.com. I'm Ben, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.